Hey everybody, Barbara Brant-Williams, your grooming guru here again. After last week's makeup video, which you all seem to like a whole lot, I figured I would go on and start the whole series of product ingredients. I think it's really, really important that you all know how to choose products, whether they're in my salon or whether they're in the grocery store or whether they're in the boutique or whether they're in another salon or wherever. There's a way of reading ingredient labels that is far more effective than actually paying attention to all of the marketing that comes your way. A lot of the big companies spend an enormous amount of money in marketing and advertising, but not so much in research and development because they don't need to. Their products are going like crazy on the sales level because they are great at marketing and pictures and all those things that sell a product. It's up to me and people like me to be able to teach you how to make proper choices that are really much healthier for your body. So that's what I'm here to do today. So pick a bottle, any bottle, that's one of the enormous amount of personal care products that we use in a regular day. Probably, I think the recent research was like 24 on the average. And turn that bottle over and actually look at those listed ingredient labels, or the ingredient list on the label. The ingredients look very scary. They're all kinds of chemical names and they are very long and hard to pronounce. Some of them are actually quite good and some of them are not. So how are you going to figure that out? Especially when you're standing in the store and you're confused between two different products. Well, there's a couple of different ways. One of the big keys that I want to point out is that the first 5 ingredients that are listed on the label is anywhere between 80 and 95% of that product. Okay? So all those, 30 or 40 different chemical names that are after that are in very, very small amounts. Some of which work really well because the first 5 ingredients are good, and some of them don't work very well because the first 5 ingredients block those other ingredients from getting through to your hair and your scalp and your skin. So the best way of doing that is figuring out those first 5 ingredients. And I looked up popular item Pantene, and I went on their website. And I think what's very cool about the transparency that they're doing now is that you can actually go on to their website and they have a whole section where you can look at ingredients. So I went on their website. Let me see if I can angle this. You can actually read that. See, it says ingredients, and you tap on that, and then all the ingredients of the particular product that you're on that site for will come up, and you can actually see it, which is really good. So I went on that one, and what did I find? I think I found that the first 5 ingredients were actually just basic, nothing special. Water, sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium citrate, cocamidopropylbetaine, and I think a couple of other ones. And just so you know, every shampoo, every body wash, whatever, has to have a carrier. So that's why water is the first item. Now, when you're looking at greener products and better products, they are going to have an infusion of something, an aloe infusion, an essential oil infusion, and some kind of a tea, basis, so that there's nutrients within that carrier that is then mixed with the surfactants that they use. In this one that I also found was sodium lauryl sulfate. All the laureths, all those sulfates are on the watch list because they're really harsh and you really don't want to use them. I mean, that's the whole big thing now that you've seen on all the front of the labels where it says sodium laureth sulfate or laureth sulfate or sodium sulfate free. So all of that is really important for you to look at, but you have to know that the other ingredients on the back might be just as bad. So you want to look for and look up those ingredients. Now, on my phone, when I go to, any one of these ingredient listings, I can highlight it and it comes up as look up. And so I can actually look up that particular, ingredient and it will come up with an explanation and a definition. So that's pretty helpful. And then the other thing that I adore is the Healthy Living app by EWG. EWG is the Environmental Working Group, and they are a very large organization that's all sponsored with dollars sent by you and me, and then, you know, corporate sponsors and everything. But they are an independent agency that helps to determine good environmental practices and good ingredients in farming and gardening and the environment and, you know, everything else that's out there. Plus, they have a wonderful database called Skin Deep, and Skin Deep tells you a lot of the ingredients that are in, you know, hair care, skin care, makeup, body wash, deodorant, everything, you know. So you can go to that app, and let me see if I can find that one here for you so you can see it. It's my favorite. And so it's green and it has all these labels and whatever. And it also has some pretty cool features where you, if you're in the store and you have this app up, you can scan the barcode and you can actually pull up whether it's good or not. There's a couple of different things that I did with that one where it pulled up a whole listing of Olay. Like I put in Olay products, and it pulled up the whole list of everything that Olay makes, and then it rated them from number 1 in green being okay, all the way up to, I think the highest they got was 6. And that's you know, pretty high on that list, because you want the 1, 2s, and 3s on the EWG, because it's going to go to green and then it's going to go to yellow, and then it, you know, progresses to red. And a lot of those products are, you know, nice sounding, gentle sounding products, but they have a lot of toxic ingredients in them, so you want to be careful. So I send them money every year, and I think they're the best. So I would use EWG, Skin Deep, and this Healthy Living app. You can also go on Pinterest. Pinterest has great information, decoding ingredient labels, helping to determine what's in everything. You can look up all kinds of things on Pinterest. I'm a Pinterest fan, if you can't tell, and it's a kind of a time sucker, but it's really good. And then you can figure out, you know, print out all kinds of things there. I found a photograph that I had a whole listing in, somebody had put on their website, of all the ingredients that you're not supposed to use in your products. And so there's that photo, and I don't know if you can even see it or not, but it's there, and you can find that on Pinterest. And that's really helpful when you're standing in the store trying to figure out what to use. So that's pretty much the information for today. And I think maybe the next time we're going to do lead in lipstick, and then how to put on proper lipstick and how to make it stay on. Stay tuned. Thanks.